Welcome. I received a comment this week. It was, "You make it sound so easy." And I think I really needed to talk about this, so I wrote down a lot of my comments, and I'm going to read them off and explain to you a lot of the stuff that I did in this video blog. First of all, the healing myself of Crohn was easy. It really was. Changing my life to be symptom-free was not. Healing myself was adapting the beliefs that my Crohn's was in my head. There was a lot of times when I was first sick that it was in my body. I believed it was in my body. But as I kept moving through my life, and I had a lot of people who were basically saying, "Bob, it's in your head, it's in your head, and it's in your head," but it's hard to put the two and two together, because number one, you're in the bathroom all the time, you're feeling all the symptoms of Crohn's, you're dealing with it, it's stressful, I understand it. But it was until I flipped that switch of thinking it was in my head, that's when I said, you know what? I had nothing to lose to believe that it was in my head. I needed to get control of my head. And if it wasn't, I still had nothing to lose. I tried. I didn't get surgery, so I won. I had to believe that what I was, my cure was learning how to change my life. I didn't know how to deal with stress. I did not know how to deal with worry. I did not know how to deal with this. And what happens is, if you don't know how to deal with this, you don't know there's nothing wrong. In other words, you believe this is the way that everybody lives. And it isn't. Some people have tools that they're brought up with, or they're seen, or they're shown, or they have a role model that kind of showed them without even telling them that they had tools to deal with stress or worry. And that's what caused my illness, was the stress and the worry. I got married, I had a job that was not going anywhere, we were trying to have a house, we were trying to learn to get along, I was sick, I had a alcoholic problem, and all these things just went to my intestines. I kept pushing them down, pushing them down, pushing them down, and they went into my intestines. That was the weak point of my body. And some people, they push it down, push it down, push it down, and then they have problems with their back, their neck, their arm, their shoulders, their knees. Mine was just in my intestines. This is where it went. Another thing that you're looking at is not getting overwhelmed by trying to do this. That was another thing. If I talk to a lot of people, and I notice they kind of look at me and say, "Oh my God, this is so much information to take in." It's not about getting overwhelmed about this. It's taking one piece at a time. It took you how many years to get sick, to all of a sudden where it came out inside of your body. So in other words, it showed its outside face, and it caused an illness. It took you a long time to get there. It's going to take you a little time to get back. You can become symptom-free. I was symptom-free in 6 months, just by meditating, just by learning to breathe. And I'm not talking that I'm some yogi. I'm far from it. I am just a person who knows how to meditate, and I use it to the best of my abilities. I learned how to calm my mind down, to make peace inside of myself, and all of a sudden my intestines were free. Learning the tools is what made me learn to change my thoughts and to do what I needed to do. My next thought was, it was breaking down my thoughts down into small pieces and taking them one by one. That statement right there is about, I was generally excited about learning about meditation and thought process and how it worked. You've got to make it into a project. It's not about curing yourself, it's about improving your life. So in other words, if you look at it like improving your life, all of a sudden the while you're improving your life, your symptoms diminish. It's taking the time. It's, yeah, you're going to be working on a little bit more than you would be about finding the best way of living, but you might find very quickly that if you put out there that you're changing your life instead of trying to heal your Crohn's, all of a sudden you're going to find that they disappear a lot quicker because you're not focusing on it. You're focusing in on your life. You're learning how to breathe. You're learning how to use mantras. You might learn how to use visualization. Simple tools will make it happen. That is the thing. So the person I was talking to who said to me, "Oh, you make it look so easy," basically, you know, they were just saying, you know, how do you take this all in? I took it piece by piece. I didn't read anything on spirituals or anything like that. I started reading on breathing, and I started to read about visualization. And I found that spiritual was not part of my life then. As I meditated longer and longer, I found that spiritual did come into my life. I used it and I made it to what it was. It's also learning to be blind. Being blind is this. All there is what you're doing. You don't ask people's advice because they don't know what you're going through. You really need to just buckle down. Don't tell anybody what you're doing, and just do it. It's easier to quit smoking cold turkey if you don't tell anybody you're quitting smoking, because then they're not asking you every day, how's it going? What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And then you got to explain it. Then you feel like you have to say, well, geez, you know, this is what I'm doing, and it's really working well. And you might have a bad day, and then you're saying, this doesn't work. You need to follow it blindly, and you need to not tell everybody about it. You just do it. I didn't explain anything to my wife when I first started doing it until all of a sudden she started noticing I felt better and this and that, and then I let her into it, and then she was all for it. But she already saw the outcome of it. I didn't have to fight my way through trying to explain it or anything, and that's a big part of it. And I also needed to make changes in my life thinking that my life depended on it, and it did. You can choose to be either sick or you can be well. I chose to be well, and I was sick of living on drugs. The drugs weren't working for me, and I had nothing to lose. It never cost me a cent to learn. Yes, I bought books, but you know what? I was spending $200 a month on pills, and that was 27 years ago. So spending $12.99 on a book was not a big deal to me. Taking a half an hour for myself every day to meditate or read a book or whatever, small price to pay. Learning to live was powerful, and it gave me the power to actually improve my life to where it is today, and I'm doing very well. I've wrote several documents or did a video blog about how wonderful and how exciting I am. So happy I had Crohn's, because basically I would have never done what I have done in this lifetime if I didn't have it. I would have just not had the gumption or the go to get through what I got through, and then go out and, you know, now I've written a book, I do these video blogs, there is so much I've done that I've never planned on. I think it was a gift from God. So that's what I have to say about this, and thank you very much for taking the time to watch this, and have a good day.